Hi, I'm Hayley, in case you're new here, and I'm a pretty passionate and dedicated rock climber who, despite my best efforts, somehow keeps on getting injured. We're talking 3 major injuries in 12 months here. First I broke my toe, then I messed up my finger, and now, well, you're gonna have to keep watching to see about this one. At the end of my last video, I was about to go and see my PT to find out what the heck was going on with my knee after bashing it into a wall and literally moving pillows around in a bed. Yes, somehow these two things have resulted in an actual injury. Right here. More on that soon. So I'm gonna drop you into right before that PT appointment. Yep. But before we get into it, for what it's worth, this isn't how my life used to be. I've never ever been injured so much. And this channel is supposed to be about climbing, not about being freaking injured. But that is my reality right now. And I'm hoping that sharing this experience, even though it's just not as cool as actually climbing, will provide some, I don't know, inspiration or comfort to other people going through the same thing. Because we all get injured at some point. I'm just getting injured at every point right now. That said though, I do go climbing in this video, so stick around. And if you like it, don't forget to subscribe. I've got big plans for this channel this year. Okay, let's go to PT.
Just parked at the PT. I'm so nervous. Just want to know if it's bad or not, you know? I guess I should go in, right? Yep, I'm gonna go in.
I'm gonna jump in here with some context, just in case you haven't seen my last video. I bashed my knee on the wall climbing, right? And I feel like that's not really a big deal. It kinda happens all the time. The actual injury part came later in the same day when I was literally moving pillows around in a bed.
Like this.
It was a fold-out couch with a metal frame and a thin mattress on top.
I wish that I was joking, but I'm not. That is literally what happened.
And when I gently rotated my torso to move the aforementioned pillows, I felt a tearing sensation in my knee, as my kneecap cammed against a lump in the bed created by the metal frame. Absurd, honestly. So yeah, now that you know what happened, let's talk about what's wrong.
Hi, I'm home. It does seem as though I have acquired an actual injury yet again. Not even from climbing. Just by living my life inside. So the PT, he thinks that it is a medial patellofemoral ligament sprain and possibly a meniscus tear as well. He said that I have a lot of good signs. He tested all of my other ligaments like ACL, LCL, all that kind of stuff. They all are good. But yeah, I have another appointment with him in 9 days. He basically was like, leave it alone. No climbing, can do upper body stuff, just gotta be careful racking weights. And yeah, this is just absolutely insane. Don't really know quite what to make of it. I'm not like overtraining or not eating enough or not sleeping enough or doing any of that classic cascade of injuries sort of things. I feel like I've just been very unlucky. And yeah, that sucks. It's easier to accept an injury when you've taken a calculated risk and you know that you're putting yourself in a questionable situation. But I didn't do anything. And I can't be worried about moving pillows around on a bed. That would just be insane. So yeah, I don't know if there's something wrong with me or if these were just a series of bad luck. I'm glad that it's not worse, glad that I can walk, but I am of course frustrated to have yet another setback in what's felt like an entire year of setbacks. Guess I'm gonna get even stronger on pull-ups and bench press. I'm gonna get yoked, right? Something like that. But for now, I feel more like just trying to survive. It's been kind of a crappy few days, as you can probably imagine. I'll keep you posted with progress. Until then.
You best believe that if there is some kind of training that I can do, I'm gonna be doing it. So please enjoy this try-hard montage of my upper body sesh at the apartment gym. And maybe while I'm doing that, we could talk a little bit about my general philosophy around injury, which is do as much as you can possibly do. That often means modifying workouts, omitting the entire lower half of your body, stuff like that. It also often means going down in weights and lowering the intensity of your workout while your body's dealing with whatever the hell else is going on. Is this fun? No. I personally find it extremely frustrating working out when I have a pretty painful active injury. Unless it's a finger, it just gets in the way of a lot of different stuff. And I guess fingers actually do that sometimes too. But I do it anyway, because training through injuries just makes them so much less catastrophic overall. It's so much easier to come back in your climbing when you've been maintaining or even acquiring some strength while you've been out.
Upper body sesh done. Am I bummed about my knee? Yes, but gotta keep keeping on. I worked out in the apartment gym, where, as you can see, it's all machines, so I didn't have to rack any weights.
And another important thing that keeps me going when I'm injured, friends and food. Preferably at the same time, like here.
Rager.
1 week later.
It's cold, but happy to be outside and walking. Now that we've magically fast-forwarded in time so you don't have to suffer through the injury recovery timeline like I did, it's time for my next PT appointment. What's up? So, I have good news. So 12 days out from injury now. Is that right? Wednesday? Yeah, that's right. And I can climb again. So I'm very happy. Very excited. So the question mark meniscus involvement was very scary, and I was potentially going to need to get an MRI, and I don't have health insurance, and it's been a whole stressful, kind of terrible start to the year, terrible couple of weeks, but it's improved a lot after going downhill for 6 days, I think. So now I can climb again with a number of caveats. No falling. It seems obvious. So I'm going to be top roping or doing very, very low bouldering, which is fine. No twisting, so drop knees, stuff like that. No heel hooks and no high steps. He basically said anything more than 90 degrees of flexion, stop and reassess. But just being able to climb at all is amazing and so good for my overall well-being as a human. Had a lot of not so fun times with the broken toe and the injured finger last year. I didn't film at PT because I don't know him very well and I didn't want to be yo, can I film you and put you on the internet? But I am going to see him at least 3 more times. But I thought I'd show you something that was interesting at the session today by recreating it on this here stool. So originally I couldn't bend past 90 degrees. I would bend to here, and then the kneecap would go to the side and I just wouldn't be able to bend anymore. But now I can do that totally fine, but it is unstable. So PT had me do a bunch of different stuff today. One of them was just step ups. The good leg looks like a regular leg. The bad leg is more wibble wobbly. Okay, so this is the good leg. So good leg first. That's what you have the sick camera angle for, by the way. So far so good. And then let's do the bad leg. So I can feel it wobbling. I'm not trying to do that, obviously. So that is, I guess, instability in the ligament, which is right here. Which obviously, I need to rehab that. I'm gonna be low bowling and top roping. But yeah, that's what's up. I don't see any reason why I can't still make progress. Is it maybe what I would have chosen to do? Probably not. I'll keep you posted. Hopefully it's a speedy recovery. I am happy at this exact moment in time. You don't need to tell me that I can climb again more than once. Literally the very next day I was on my way to craft in search of low balls. Freshies. And clever me decides to start with this V2 slab. It's a nice climb that I've done a bunch of times and haven't fallen on in many years. Seemed relatively safe. Oops, literally falls on the very first climb. Good job, me. Let's just pretend that that didn't happen, okay? So warm up successfully accomplished. I headed to the day's lowball main objective, a climb called Queen's Gambit, which is a very contrived V5, but it doesn't have any moves that are intense on the left leg and it's all right off the ground, so, you know, beggars can't be choosers. I'd already done this climb and I thought I was going for the repeat, but when I pulled up my Sen video to look at my own beta, I realized that I actually hadn't started the climb right. So technically, I was going for the send. You can see the starting position of my hands from this other angle, but they should actually be like this. Yeah, so there's one left hand move that I accidentally skipped last time. No big deal though, right? Well, after some time spent being injured and literally just sitting on the couch, that turned out to be a little bit harder than I expected. Not just that first left-hand move, but repeating the climb in general. I think I did it in maybe 15 minutes the first time. And this time, let's just say it was a lot longer than that. I actually thought that I wouldn't be able to do it, which just shows you how much it sucks to get injured. I feel like I generally have a pretty good attitude and approach to injury, and I want this channel to be positive overall, like I am as a human. But I also think it's important to show things as they really are, and this session was pretty frustrating and not very fun. I'm out here in the dark, by myself, trying to repeat a 0-star contrived low ball, and I'm failing at it. Yeah. So this is the left-hand move that I accidentally skipped when I first did the climb. And this right hand lunge move is the crux, if you hadn't already figured that out watching me fall on it a bunch. The rest of it is definitely easier, but I for sure fell on this section. Specifically, here. But not this time, thankfully. Thank God for that, honestly. Don't get me wrong, I love climbing, and I'm super grateful that I can climb again. It's just a bit of a roller coaster having had 3 injuries in a row, you know? 2 steps forward, 1 step back, repeat. So we're gonna skip ahead again by a couple of weeks and save you guys the boredom and lameness that ensued. Here's my next PT appointment, which Aaron, my PT, kindly let me film.
Does this happen often?
So, come here often?
So as you can see, I got to do some jumps, which was a really good sign, and side-to-side ones too. All of this is obviously important for being able to boulder and fall off of boulders and jump down from boulders and take whips. And it just felt damn good after not moving my body in this kind of way for many weeks at this point.
Alright, so now let's shuffle and then come back.
Shuffle, and then come back. The really good part of this exercise though is doing it with a band around your waist. It was pretty funny. And Aaron looked at my step up, which is one of the exercises that I have been doing.
So it's hard.
Yeah, you can see how unstable my knee still is.
Why don't we hold off on drop knees while climbing? You have to test them out with this drum.
So all in all it was good. The knee's coming along and I'm making progress, but there's still a lot of things that I can't do. And for bouldering specifically, not being able to take big or uncontrolled falls is really limiting. If it was rope season, I would just top rope this entire time and be pretty okay with that. But with the nature of just impacting the ground when you boulder, I found it all kind of hard to work around. Another day, another low ball boulder or two. Honestly, it is
a little harder than usual to be psyched with these limitations, but I'm doing my best. I'm going out anyway. So this is a no expectation, just to get outside, move around, barely off the ground set. We're going out. Can you see that? Going out there, that's Red Rock. Can't see because it's all bright out there, but I'm gonna have to take my word for it.
Get the fun slab.
The fun slab indeed. My friend Sam somewhat recently put this climb up. Shout out Sam if you're watching. And I'd been saving it for both fun, cause, you know, slab, and to try and flash. That's why I'm ticking these feet here. I always put a lot of pressure on myself to flash slabs, and this one was no exception. It's a V4 called Wagyu, and in normal shape, I would certainly expect to flash a V4 slab. But as you well and truly know by now, I'm hardly in fighting shape. But here's how it went. Also, seeing myself in this scrunched position, I just have to interject with this footage from right before I got on.
Yeah, so you were like almost fully extended on your legs and able to hold the holds like this.
Yeah.
Like perfect size. And I feel like I'm gonna be like,
Yeah, your legs are.
you know what I mean?
You're gonna be
Yup, accurate.
Oh yeah. Oh, looking great. Come on, Haley. With it.
Yay!
Work here's done.
I was very pleased about this given, you know, how everything's been going lately. It was nice to just go out and have a fun session with my friends. In the sunshine, during the day, on a sick new climb. The rest of the session had a lot less sending, but it was still super fun. I gotta say, if you're relegated to climbing low balls, it's a hell of a lot more fun to climb them with friends. So, this climb is called the Bush for this bush. However, there is a stump that if you pad or put a shoe on, you dab on. So I have tied my jacket to it. But that means that I no longer have a jacket. And the sun is going down. And I am cold. Bouldering. And if you're wondering why I was in those shots alone after talking about how nice it was to climb with friends, it's because my friends had just already sent that boulder. So I went to join them on this other climb, which was just around the corner. And by this point, I was far too tired to do anything. I've already sent this climb twice. But, you know, some time off and capacity goes out the window. This climb is so pretty though, and a nice appropriate low ball for me to repeat, so I'm sure I'll be back. So yeah, that's the prognosis on my knee and my first session back. And maybe this wasn't the most exciting video, but that's because my life wasn't the most exciting. And I think when you're going through periods of injury, you just have to keep on going, even if that means doing boring, uninspiring things, like climbing dabby low balls and doing a bunch of PT. Don't forget to subscribe to see what happens next in this ridiculous saga that is my life right now. And I'm currently in the process of making a video about my top tips for recovering from injury and coming out the other side stronger. Cause Lord knows I've been injured for nearly a year now, and it has sucked, but somehow I'm still getting better. So yeah, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss that one, and I'll see you in the next video.